Read, nigga! Read!
People always talk about how much Dream loves his fans too much, but are we ever going to talk about how much I hate mine? Nah, I'm just joking, I love you guys. Also, last set of questions. If able, would you have changed what you said and did in the past? Do you believe your video was done in good faith? And do you believe you're blameless in this situation? 2 weeks ago, I made a video about Puppy-chan where I said if the video hit 100 likes in under a week, I would make a video talking about Antoons' most recent video on the drama. I said this knowing full well my average likes weren't 100. I also didn't imagine the video would do as well as it did, and a lot more people watched it than I thought, so here we are. I fucking hate it here. Because I am extremely greedy and try to do as many things as I possibly can in excess. No, shut up, that's all. I also went out and interviewed multiple people in the video, including Antoons. Now while writing the script, I realized I was in quite a pickle.
I'm pickle red!
No, actually, it wasn't a very clever joke in the first place. While talking about the video, I realized I could either critique it too softly and make it look like I was defending Antoons from the things I actually have issue with, or critique it too harshly and be a liar. So I've decided that I'm just going to go through the whole video and talk about just how I personally feel. I also want to talk about my current position while making this video. I am friends with 3 of the people who feature in the Antoons video, and at the time of recording, Antoons is also in my Discord server. Because of this, I'm going to be completely biased against Antoons. All my homies hate Antoons. Can you tell I'm stalling? It's almost like I don't want to make this video. Oh, and if you're watching this probably hour-long video and you haven't subscribed, followed my Twitter, and joined my Discord, then what the flying fuck is wrong with you? Firstly, Antoons, please use chapters.
Wanting to kill Antoons and getting him doxxed is not enough. Now they go after people like John Dilworth, creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and a friend of Anton, who had to remove his video with Antoons because of backlash from the cancel mob. And even if we put the April Fool's prank aside, people still attacked Butch Hartman for even considering doing a commission for Antoons. Will the mob go after John K as well when they find out he supports Antoons' art? Even if John K has already been cancelled into oblivion, for the right reasons, he still doesn't deserve more hate just for liking someone's art. And what about Gendy Tartakovsky and voice of Chris McLean, Christian Potenza? Will they also be attacked just for being friends with Antoons? Just like that comedian who had to publicly apologize for taking a photo with his friend Dave Chappelle? Will the mob attack all of the studios Antoons has worked in as well? It's time to bring an end to this madness.
Yeah, that's very bad. While speaking with Antoons, I found out he lost job opportunities because of the videos made on him, and had people who worked for him get harassed. Granted, if a company doesn't like Antoons' insensitive comics, then that's fine. But when people are contacted, what the fuck? I actually can't spell. Contacting places of work, advertisers, or the actual people behind the screen, then that's when I have an issue. Also, don't threaten to fucking kill someone. Like, okay, Lotte God, calm down. You just end up looking deranged. You also put a big hecking mark on your back that says I'm under the age of 14, because there is no way anyone under the age of 14 would do something so stupid. Wait, adults do that too? What the fuck? Look out!
So to summarize the Antoons drama, here's a little rundown of what happened. Here's me and my YouTube channel in 2014. Years go by and we reach 2020, when the corona lockdowns were announced and made everyone's lives harder. Shortly after, the BLM riots were beginning to appear in the news. This was a great inspiration for my first political comment. So I went to Twitter and posted it. People loved it, and so I made more. And after a few months, accumulated a legion of fans, but also an army of enemies.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that a fucking straw man? Just want to say, I skipped a little bit of the video mainly because it's about the Puppy-chan drama. No, not the recent one.
This is the pyrocynical situation all over again.
Bullshit. I'm talking about the stuff that started it all. The 2020 stuff. I really did have high hopes going into this cartoon, especially when I heard the creator was someone who worked on Gravity. My old videos are so ass, holy shit.
Start with the first anti-Antoons journalist, Deathpena, whose idea was that I was taken to political extremes by other popular right-wing comic artists, thus making a monster out of me. In Deathpena's eyes, me making political comics is preying on poor little minorities that can do no wrong.
I don't actually think that's true. The reason I don't, and many others don't like your comics, is because they're just insensitive and rely on shock humor. I won't lie, some of the comics made me laugh. Oh, go fuck yourselves. But a lot of them don't really follow the structure of a joke, if that makes any sense.
Nor wrong. This idea was easily disproven because Deathpena chose the specific comics from my catalog and used them as a way to show that I target specific groups of people like the LGBT and BLM, when in fact I make fun of everyone.
No, silly. I make fun of everyone. It's fine.
Shut up, blood!
That's all that needs to be said here.
Funny that Deathpena doesn't have any problem with Family Guy, a favorite show of his that he doesn't shut up about on Twitter, a show that has done a lot of controversial jokes as well.
Whoa, you can't just do that. The issue isn't offensive equal bad. The issue is your comics go past a fine line of an edgy joke.
Jokes as well. He also picked Mr. Sneaks as a racial stereotype of a black person and said that I don't believe what my comics are about. The whole video was a train wreck, not to mention he had 6 whole hours of interview footage that he could have used to show my full perspective. Instead, he ignored most of it, and even the less controversial Trace argument was removed because he needs to monetize his trademark videos after all.
Alright, here's an actual good point. If there was a 6-hour call, then why hasn't it been published to Deathpena's second channel or even brought up afterwards? That was a voice crack. Until we get the full call, I don't feel like using Daft's video as definitive evidence is very fair. Also, racist tracer? Racist? Come on, man. At worst, Antoons is just racially insensitive. Wait, now it sounds like a good thing.
His trademark videos after all. If the tracing problem is solved, he won't have any more expose videos on random tracers. Of course, he would rather avoid any counter-arguments to his tracing theory so he could make money.
Are you taking the piss? You just went and said how Daft was cherry picking your comics and then you cherry pick his videos? His last Tracer video was 9 months ago. Fucking hell, man. There is also a defense of tracing with Antoons saying he has only traced 3 frames of an animation in one instance. Cool, I'll be talking about that later. Just keep that in your back pocket. Also, because I know someone is going to bring it up sooner or later, Deathpena used to trace, I hear you say. So because of that, he can't criticize others? If he was still doing it while any of these videos are going out, then fine. Go on. But wait, what's this? A person can change after 5 years? Nah, there's no way.
I never asked for his permission. So at the time when Deathpena's video on me came out and I made a response to that, nobody was taking me seriously because Deathpena's friends in the commentary community all made more videos on me to convince the public that whatever I say is BS. So in the following months of 2021, the Antoons drama died down, and as usual, Deathpena kept on making more hit pieces on other creators. But with every video he made, people were slowly catching on that his SJW tactics to cancel artists are actually dumb at best and at worst manipulative and even evil. We won't go over all of the criticisms in his videos, but he basically struck a major nerve with his Discord incel video. In the video he calls out a black and gay artist, Etherean Art, for using slurs and edgy jokes. Deathpena never asked this artist for an interview to clarify his identity before slandering him online. Following that incident, Deathpena doxed a young Twitter artist because they were pretending to be a woman while actually being a man. I mean, we live in a world of unlimited genders today, so how is that a problem to Deathpena? He was the one who had a problem with my edgy trans jokes after all.
Yeah, okay. This is actually all valid. Daft was definitely in the wrong in both cases. In fact, I made a video talking about the Tina Faith incident. But here, let me just ask you a question. What's the point of any of this? Fuck, this doesn't even clear your name. Were you attempting to discredit Daft by bringing up the times he was hilariously wrong? Cause that would be stupid. Very fucking stupid. I don't have a problem with people bringing up someone's past for criticism or to bring up a pattern. But in this case, it really isn't relevant because you're trying to defend yourself with facts. Saying Daft messed up in other instances isn't really a definitive defense. Oh, but don't worry though, I'm still on your side. I'm sure this is only a little bit of a goof. I'm absolutely positive this won't be the majority of the video. We already know I'm making the foreshadowing joke, move on. It is so annoying that I have to defend Daft because I seriously don't like Daft for other reasons.
So this doxing incident was the last straw that broke the camel's back, and Twitter exploded while people were making countless commentary videos calling
hypocrisy is described as the practice.
Okay, we're gonna stop right here. I'm friends of Pillman and Nekokoda made a good video criticizing that video, so go watch that. I don't agree with some of the points, but it does help me save a little bit of oxygen from this ozone layer. Also, I'm lazy.
shadows as a lesser-known commentary critic, trying to latch on to Death's core audience to grow his own influence. What I mean is that JustTop has been copying Deathpena's tracer catcher shtick since the beginning of his YouTube career. JustTop has collaborated with Deathpena a few times over the years, and it's no surprise he would protect him like a student would defend his master. It's also no surprise that JustTop took the exact same narrative that Deathpena presented when he claimed I'm trying to backstab Puppy-chan. So I called out JustTop for his first video on me, where he didn't even ask me for an interview prior.
Yeah, JustTop is wrong in this situation, mainly because he took what Daft said at face value and didn't look up what he actually meant for himself. And if he did, he still got something wrong, which should be brought up.
And only chose to get Puppy-chan on board, to make her look completely innocent and paint a picture of me as a wolf in sheep's clothing.
What? Huh? In the screenshot you showed, it shows JustTop did have what I consider a valid reason for why he didn't contact you. From the way you worded it, you make it seem like he didn't even bother when that isn't even remotely the case. Regarding the Puppy-chan stuff, most of the time during the original beef, she barely did anything other than that indirect Most of the time during the original beef, she barely did anything other than indirectly get you hate, which I believe JustTop should have brought up. However, trying to use the interview and Puppy-chan to paint JustTop as malicious is probably the dumbest shit I've ever seen. We're on the second segment and your arguments are already starting to fall apart. I wonder what the hell the rest of them look like.
Here's what JustTop has to say on someone's stream about me.
And I got in contact with Antoons.
Don't you mean it was me who got in contact with you?
Yeah, you're right here. You technically did contact him first, but it is a nitpick.
Points here as well. So when I DM'd JustTop on Twitter, he apologized for not asking me for an interview and said he didn't know how to contact me, which was another red flag, considering he had a plethora of ways to reach me, either through Twitter, Instagram, email, Tumblr, Newgrounds, and Discord.
You literally showed the screenshot of him saying he didn't know your DMs were open and didn't know your Discord, so I don't understand what compelled you to say this. Is Stonetoss pointing a gun at the back of your head or something? You try and paint JustTop and Deathpena as if he's actually his subordinate and would have instant access to his DMs at all times, which I know for a fact isn't true, because I tried to contact Deathpena myself and was aired disgustingly.
But at the time I contacted JustTop myself, he seemed like he wasn't completely under Death's grip, because he did make some decent points in his video on me, such as me not being a map or transphobe, and he did also ask me for an interview after I contacted him, so I decided to give him a chance. I thought that maybe he wasn't a complete puppet of Death's manipulation, but after we began talking, my impression of him changed once again. He was ignoring any point I made against Deathpena as if I'm speaking to a wall, claimed that me striking a video for spreading false accusations such as me being a pedo was very wrong.
Did you just... Antoons, come on my man. You can't let yourself get caught blatantly lying like that. It seems Antoons graduated from the speed school of showing screenshots that completely contradicts what he's saying. Because not even 20 seconds ago, the screenshot you showed said you took it down for copyright infringement, not slander, and not exploitation of a minor. Now when I say the average intelligence and attention span of a human being is equal to a goldfish, you can see why. You can't tell me multiple people watched this video before it was published, saw this part and said, God, I hope this goes over well. I'm used to contradictions, but there's never been a time where they're right next to each other. Well, until this bullshit happened, obviously.
I tried to make a privacy complaint because I showed a photo of his face in one of the shots, so I got an email asking me to blur out his face, but I didn't want to initially because JustTop posts his selfies more often than Puppy-chan changes her gender.
There we go. That's a solid point you made there. The reason for this excitement is because for once, I actually can commend Antoons for making a point I have 0% issues with. He's entirely right for calling out JustTop for doing this. These pictures are on public websites like Twitter and you have made no intention to separate your face from your channel, JustTop. So I'm really confused on why you did this in all honesty. JustTop didn't care whether he was right or wrong and was more focused on shooting Antoons in the foot? Preposterous! No, seriously though, Antoons made a 100% good point here.
Talk about being vain. So it didn't make sense to blur out the photo as he posts his face publicly, though eventually after a few days I did blur it out, but soon after JustTop made a tweet calling everyone to report my video, which led to its takedown.
Alright, we're at the porn bit now. And because I don't want to show a grown-ass man in his undies on screen for too long before the YouTube content bots pull my pants down and do unspeakable things to me. Basically, this section can be skipped because both JustTop and Harley admitted this wasn't porn later on.
Well, anyway, so JustTop was also offended when I showed him what my biggest fans were drawing of me. It included the typical not suitable for work degeneracy. I showed this art to prove a point that these artists are not to be taken seriously, but JustTop called it porn.
Oh, they made you fan art? And he proceeded to show me porn.
and reported my Discord account a week later because he was 16 at the time and the minor cannot see such art, or so it seemed. What's funny is that he has gone through my entire Twitter timeline to dig up any dirt on me and saw all the similar art and more in my history, but still went along and continued his research on me. When he could have just stopped and avoided me completely if he had found such art problematic. He didn't even have to talk to me knowing that I have association with such tweets. Of course he would never do that, clout is more important. He would pretend he is okay with seeing such art, talk to me for over a whole week, and only to report my Discord account the day he released his video on me. If that's not a scummy move, I don't know what to tell you.
Do you know what's an even scummier move? Sending an SFW to a minor, getting upset when that minor wasn't okay with that, and then saying he should have just avoided you in the first place if he didn't like the porn. Are you retarded?